Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining. I know it's been a hot minute since I have posted. I'm just going to kind of watch this and make sure that it is recording. Hold on one second. If you see my hair in there, I apologize. I just want to make sure. Yep, it's going. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of check it. Anyways, it's been a while since I posted. I kind of been going through some stuff in my videos, just with something that I kind of had some stuff going on in my head, struggling with some depression and just kind of life in general, and I kind of stopped doing my faith journaling and my Bible study and all that stuff, and I don't know what happened in life, I guess. But anyways, I'm back at it. And I thought I would jump on here and just do a quick kind of walk you guys through how I'm doing my Bible study. I know some people were interested in how I did that when I was doing it before. So I have this Bible here. I got it off Amazon. Well, my fiance got it for me off Amazon for Christmas. I don't know. I can try to find the link. It's from dayspring.com. I thought it was absolutely gorgeous. There's different covers, stuff that you could choose, but this one I absolutely loved. So, and then I'm currently, I get a monthly subscription box to the shereadstruth.com, the Bible study, and the current book that I'm studying is Ruth. So I just figured that I would take you guys through and show you how I am using this. It is a workbook, like it has a place where you can make notes, you know, and that kind of stuff, but I don't really use it for that. Sometimes I take notes in it, sometimes I don't. But anyways, if you want to see how I'm doing it, whatever, go ahead and stay tuned and we'll get started. So this is where I left off, was here at the end of this, this verse here from Leviticus 19, 9 and 10. And it just said, "When you reap the harvest of your land, you're not to reap the very edge of your field or gather the gleanings of your harvest. Do not strip your vineyard bare or gather its fallen grapes. Leave them for the poor and the resident alien. I am the Lord your God." And for whatever reason, that just, I don't know, it just like, it hit a moment. Like it was one of those aha kind of moments, like just stuck out to me. So what I do in that case is I flipped to Leviticus, and then I just made a tip in here in my Bible, and then wrote out the actual scripture. And then I highlight that scripture. If it pertains to one of these tip-ins, I highlight it in gray in my Bible so that I know that every verse that is outlined or highlighted, whatever, in gray, retains to one of these tip-ins or a Bible journaling card or whatever. I have some other ones that I've done in my study of Ruth here. I have this one here. This is Ruth 1:8. And this one I did the other day. And then I have this one, Ruth 1:16 and 17. And so if there's any other verses that like pop out, I still have to highlight these because they're on this page. So why don't I just go ahead and do that now. I use two different types of Bible highlighters. These are a gel highlighter, so they don't bleed through. I actually have three different kinds. This is just a retractable highlighter. It's not gel. Let me get an index card and I'll show you the colors. So this one is like an ink. These retractable ones, I really like them because I wish these came in retractable, but I guess that would probably defeat the purpose. I really like the Mr. Pin brand. And then I got these Diversity. I don't know. I got these because I really, the Mr. Pen didn't have the colors that I wanted. Out of the ones I wanted were like, let me grab them. But I bought them specifically for this Bible. And it's kind of like these muted like earth tones. These are the ones I wanted specifically for my Bible because they go so well with my Bible, with the cover of my Bible. I just like that color scheme, so that's why I got them. But they're gel, and so you can highlight on the page and it doesn't bleed through. So, anyways, let's go ahead and highlight this first verse. It's 1:8, chapter 1, verse 8. I like to go to the end of it and start at the end and then go to the beginning so that I know I don't accidentally go over. Oh, it's smeared. That's okay. It's easy to clean up. See, like it smears off, you know, and that's okay. Like this is just for me, so it doesn't really matter. I wonder if I have a gray of that reversible or that retractable one. Let me look and see if there's a gray. Those are earth tone colors again, too. It doesn't look like there's gray. So, I was just going to show you what that would look like, but I don't have a gray one. So, this little pouch here is just my highlighters I use in my Bible. So, there's that one. And then I'll use this Mr. Pen one to do this next. It's 16. Oh, I did that in pink for whatever reason. So, it's fine. It's highlighted. It is what it is. It's okay. Oh, I did this one in kind of an orange color too. Oh, no, I didn't. Ruth 2:12. I did it here in gray. So, and then just some up here in this other peach color. And there's pink and green are just some verses that kind of stuck out as I was going through and I was reading this book of Ruth. It just kind of stuck out. So that's what we're going to be doing today. If you guys want to follow along. I know that whenever I was looking to get into Bible journaling, because I had heard about it and I was like, ooh, what is this? You know, I like being creative, and if it's things that I could be creative with, then I feel like it's something that I'll stick to because it becomes fun for me. But there was a lot of videos talking about what they're doing or like how they're doing it, but they don't show them doing it. So like as you do it together. So that's what I tried to figure out how to create. Or that's what I want to do, is just make videos of me actually doing my Bible study. So, sorry, my phone is going crazy. So anyways, that's the point of, you know, well, this specific video anyways. So I'm going to set my Bible off to the side. I'm going to come back to here. So what I do is, right now I'm just reading it, like, what I like about this is this whole book is created on the book of Ruth. And if we look in my Bible, let's go back to my Bible. The book of Ruth is, I got these tabs off Amazon too. They're just plain white. You can get colored ones and fancier ones, but for this Bible I just wanted white because I couldn't find any that matched the color scheme that I wanted. So the book of Ruth is, in this Bible, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. 4.5 pages long. So it's not a long chapter at all. But it's a good chapter. And then this whole book is like, I don't know, 93 pages. Tips for memorizing scriptures at the back. But, I mean, it's pretty thick. You know, for a 4-page chapter, it's a pretty thick book. So it goes really in depth. So the next thing that they're going to talk about, so over here we read Ruth chapter 2, verses 4 through 17. And now it's telling us that we're going to go a little bit deeper. We're going to dig in a little bit more. So over here they're talking about, if you've never read Ruth, Ruth has gone, and her daughters, Ruth and Naomi, which is Ruth's mother-in-law. Ruth's husband has passed away, as well as her brother-in-law, So Naomi, which is Ruth's mother-in-law, Ruth's husband's mom, Naomi lost her 2 boys and her husband died. And so she said after her sons died, I'm going to go back to my homeland. I want you guys to go back to your homeland with your parents, with your moms and your dad, and I will go. And Ruth said, absolutely not. I am going with you. Where you live, I will live. Where you die, I will die. And so they did. And the town surrounded them and were super excited to see them. And Naomi's brother, Naomi's husband's brother, I believe it is, Boaz, I think is how you say his name. Boaz, I don't know. That's why I say it. He owns farmland there. And so Ruth asked Naomi if she felt that it would be appropriate for her to go into the fields and pick up the gleanings, the parts of the harvest that gets dropped on the field. If Naomi felt that it would be appropriate for Ruth to do that, to kind of get them some food and to give her something to do. So she said yes. Well, she happened to stumble upon Boaz's field, and when he came back from Bethlehem, he said, who is this woman and where did she come from? And his worker, his farmhand, whatever, said, oh, she's the young woman that came back with Naomi. And she said to him, will you let me gather fallen, grain from behind the harvesters? And he said, yes, listen, go ahead and gather grain. When the other harvesters leave and go to another field, you stay in my field, you work my field, I'll keep you safe, I'll make sure you have food. And he tells her, join my workers, eat at the table with them. I will have told all of the men to not touch you, to leave you alone. I will keep you safe, kind of a thing. Because of how you have treated my sister-in-law, Naomi, after her husband died and her sons have died, you have stuck by her side. So, now we're just kind of digging in deeper about, how, like right now it's talking about Psalms 36, verse 7 and 9, is how priceless your faithful love is. People take refuge in the shadow of your wings. They are filled from the abundance of your house. Let them drink from your refreshing stream. For the wellspring of life is with you. By means of your light, we see light. So, it's really just going in, talking about, loyalty. How when you love someone and it's a true love that, you stick by them and you make those sacrifices, I guess. So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to read this. And I'm going to get to probably this back page. And between here and this next page, I'm sure something's going to jump out at me. So I'm going to pause the video. And then I'm going to read this. And then I'll be back. Okay, so I went through and I read that. And basically, it's just, it's saying, so it says, for I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you took me in. I was naked and you clothed me. I was sick, and you took care of me. I was in prison, and you visited me. And then the righteous will answer him. Remember that. The righteous will answer him, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and take you in, or without clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and visit you? And the king said, and he answered them, truly I will tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. Then he will also say to those on the left, depart from me, you who are cursed, in the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me nothing to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me nothing to drink. I was a stranger, and you did not take me in. I was naked, and you didn't clothe me. Sick and in prison, and you didn't take care of me. And they too will answer, Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty, or a stranger, or without clothes, or sick, or in prison, and not help you? And he answers them and says, truly I tell you, whenever you did not do for one of the least of these, you did not do for me. And they will go away into eternal punishment, but the righteous into eternal life. So I guess what I take from that is, like, treat others as you want to be treated. We never know when God has sent an angel to down and we encounter that person. We never know when it's, when that test of our faith or who we are as a person, our morality, like our moral compass, whenever that is going to be tested. And so if we would do it, if Christ was standing in front of us and we seen that he had, it's kind of like those people that you see holding the signs on the side of the road, need help, whatever. Sometimes you just get a feeling that, okay, I'm going to help this person. Sometimes you don't get that feeling. We can't help everybody. Nobody can help everybody. We understand that. Or, you're scrolling on Facebook and you see someone that says, hey, I need some help with some groceries, and something touches your heart and says, hey, let's help this person. Because, again, you can't help everyone. Sometimes those people don't really need help. They just would prefer to take from someone else rather than, maybe it's easier. Or, I know some people that would go to the food bank, a church-run food bank every single month, even when they didn't need to. They had two incomes. But it meant that they could spend their money on cigarettes or pop or something that they didn't necessarily need, that they wanted. And so, I guess this verse, this is a good reminder for us to not judge, and to, if we feel it in our heart like it's the right thing to do, like God is touching upon our heart to help these people, then let's help them, but to help everybody as we would if it was Christ himself standing in front of us. So that's a good reminder. Sometimes it's hard to remember that. So, but there's nothing in there that I really want to, like, put in a verse and, like, make a Bible journaling page out of. So, this here was one of the verse 1:8, which is this is the verse that I did this journaling page out of. And it says, may the Lord show you kindness if you have shown to the dead and to me. That is, Naomi says that to Ruth, because after Ruth has decided to stay with Naomi, that's what she tells her. May the Lord show you the kindness that you have shown to me after my sons and my husband has passed away. So, the next part of this book, so this is based off of a week, so I'm supposed to go through this book in a week. Sometimes it takes me a little bit longer to go through them. Sometimes it takes me a little bit less. Just depends on my work schedule, life. I don't kind of put a pressure on myself to say, oh, I need to read A, B, and C every single day just to catch up, or to, I come in and I do what I can for that day, whatever I feel, whatever I have time for, and whatever, like, if I'm really into it, I'll just keep reading. But anyways, so the next part of it's going to be Ruth chapter 2, verse 18 through 23. And it says, she picked up the grain and went into the town where her mother-in-law saw what she had gleaned, which just means picked up. She brought out what she had left over from her meal and gave it to her. Her mother-in-law said to her, where did you gather barley today, and where did you work? May the Lord bless the man who noticed you. And then Ruth told her mother-in-law, whom she had worked with, and said, the name of the man I worked with today is, I don't know, Boaz, I don't know. Then Naomi said to her daughter, may the Lord bless him, because he has not abandoned his kindness to the living or the dead. The man is a close relative. He is one of our family redeemers. Ruth, because Ruth is from she's from Moab, so she's a Moabitess or something, I don't know. Anyways, he also told me, stay strong, my young men, stay with my young men until they have finished all of my harvest. So Naomi said to her daughter-in-law, my daughter, it is good for you to work with his female servants, so that nothing will happen to you in another field. Ruth stayed close to Boaz's female servants and gathered grain until the barley and the wheat harvest were finished, and she lived with her mother-in-law. So now it's just going to go into a little bit deeper. I'm sorry if it bothers you guys that I don't know how to pronounce that guy's name. To me, it's not the big of a deal. I'll just call him Boaz, and I know who I'm talking about. So if I say Boaz and that's the wrong pronunciation, I apologize. But it's what works for me. Sometimes some of these names in the, biblical names are harder to pronounce than others. So, anyways, now we're going to go a little bit deeper into that, and it's going to take us to Deuteronomy, chapter 25, verse 5 through 10. Preserving the family line. When brothers live on the same property and one of them dies without a son, the wife of the dead man may not marry a stranger outside the family. Her brother-in-law is to take her as his wife, have sexual relations with her, and perform the duty of a brother-in-law for her. The first son she bears will carry on the name of the dead brother, so his name will not be blotted out from Israel. But if a man doesn't want to marry his sister-in-law, she is to go to the elders at the city gate and say, "My brother-in-law refuses to preserve his brother's name in Israel. He isn't willing to perform the duty of a brother-in-law for me." The elders of his city will summon him. Hold on one second. Okay, guys, sorry about that. It was the pharmacy calling about some medication. So, anyways, where was I? Dang it, I forgot. Let's see. The brother-in-law refuses to preserve his brother-in-law's name in Israel. He isn't willing to perform the duties of a brother-in-law for me. The elders of the city will summon him and speak with him. If he persists and says, "I don't want to marry her," then his sister-in-law will go up to him in the sight of the elders, remove his sandal from his foot, and spit in his face. And she will declare, "This is what is done to a man who will not build up to his brother's house." And his family name in Israel will be the house of the man whose sandal was removed. So that's kind of strange that in the event that your husband dies, you have to... I'm glad it's not that way anymore, because... whew. I've got to wrap my head around that for a second. Like, I mean, I get that it was a long time ago, and it, I'm sure it made sense then. And it's a way to honor the brother and keep the family name alive, because, back then that was important. But I'm glad we don't have to do that now, for sure. Let's see. So, I mean, basically it just says that, since Naomi's husband died, or Ruth's husband died, then Ruth should go to her brother-in-law, and he would then be her new husband, and they would have a baby, and the first child that she had with her brother-in-law that she would name after her deceased husband, to honor their name and to carry on their name. So, but in the event that the brother-in-law doesn't want to do that, then he gets spit on. That's so gross. Spitting on people is so gross. Anyway, sidetrack. Alright, so nothing in there really stood out to me, except for the bizarreness of it, but, again. So then I'm going to go to, this next one, which is the Psalms 41, 1 through 3. Happy is one who is considerate of the poor. The Lord will save him in a day of adversity. The Lord will keep him and preserve him. He will be blessed in the land. You will not give him over to the desire of his enemies. The Lord will sustain him on his sick bed. You will heal him on the bed where he lies. That was a Psalm of David. And then Galatians 6, chapter 6, 9 through 10. Let us not tire of doing good, for we will reap at the proper time if we don't give up. Therefore, as we have opportunity, let us work for the good of all, especially for those who belong to the household of faith. Okay, so I really like that. I'm going to go ahead and read that again. Let us not get tired of doing good, for we will reap at the proper time if we don't give up. Therefore, as we have opportunity, let us work for the good of all, especially for those who belong to the household of faith. I like that. I want to put that in my Bible. So I'm just going to grab this, and I'm going to kind of highlight it. I'm going to use one of these I'm going to do a retractable one, just because this paper in this book is a little bit thicker, so it'll hold up, it won't bleed through. That's one reason I don't like to use these retractable ones in my Bible. is because they bleed through the Bible pages. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to grab my typewriter because I want to type this out. And I'm going to grab some, I'll be back. I'll gather all my supplies that I want to use to make this journaling page. And then I'll come back. Okay guys, I'm back. So what I went ahead and did is I went ahead and typed this out on my typewriter. There's a couple of mistakes on there, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It'll probably drive me crazy, but I'll get over it. So for whatever reason, my typewriter, the numbers don't work on my typewriter. So I have to get numbers out of a different book, or I have to write them in. And I think today what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to write them in. Now that's Galatians 6, chapter 6, 9 through 10. So I'll just write that part in. And what I went ahead and gathered is I'm going to use this little card pocket out of this. It's a Scarlet Lime from the Planter Society little packet. It's got a couple of little, like this is a little pocket, this is another pocket, and it's got this really pretty paper in it. And I just grabbed a light gray. It's supposed to sit in here like this way, but I typed it wrong, and so it's going to sit in here this way, which will be fine. And then this is just going to slide. I'm going to glue this pocket onto a different piece of paper. So let me grab, this is my little 6x6 cardstock, you know, just pattern paper, whatever. I'm going to grab this same 6x6 pattern or book that I got, craft pad. I got this at Walmart. I think it was like $3 something. But I'm going to find a piece of gray paper that's where this gray page came out of. So I'm going to find one that's the same tone as this, but not as, I want kind of a white page with that gray. So I think I'm going to go with that one that had this one right here. I don't know though, because that kind of looks weird without the, let me see, maybe this one. I know what I'll do. I'm going to use this page. And then, hold on one second, because I think I put it away. Maybe I didn't. Maybe it's still up. Nope, I put it away. Give me 1 second. My squeaky chair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Distress Oxide and one of these little daubers. And this is the color Tea Dye, so it's not super dark, but it's not... Let me move this out of the way here. I'm going to just go ahead and put this back. I'm going to move this over here so that I have some area to work. Just kind of pick it up and then I'm just going to kind of work this in. I don't want every section of it to be the same color, so I just want to kind of have some lighter spots, some darker spots. And I'm going to cut this sheet, so I'm not going to go all the way up here at the top. And I'm not going to go all the way over here because this part, this side that's going to be glued into my Bible. This is what's called a tip-in. And I just want to get a few darker. I'm going to go grab another distressed ink, one a little bit darker, so I'll be right back. My chair is so squeaky. It's driving me crazy. Alright, so this one here is called Vintage Photo. It's the same Ranger Distress Oxide. I got these for Christmas. Christmas or my birthday, one of the two. My birthday is 5 days before Christmas, so sometimes I don't remember what I get them for. But I just know it's one or the other. And I'm just going to kind of make this a little bit darker in a few spots. Make it kind of, I like that old paper. Let's do super dark over here in this corner. You can see a little bit of it's getting on my desk. But the nice thing about these is they clean up super nice. Super, super nice. So, alright. And as long as you keep these closed, I found that they last quite a while. So I'm going to set that up there. And I just have a microfiber cloth that I like to just wipe my desk off with. I just use the same one. These came in a big giant roll. I got them from Walmart for like $14 for like 75 of them or something. So, and then this, I'll just kind of set, I don't know how I want to set it, but I'm also going to use these stickers here. This is from Live Love Posh. I absolutely love her stickers. And this is the Muted Blooms. And I just thought these would be super cute. Oops, I ripped it. That's okay. It's okay because it'll go back down. You won't even be able to tell that I ripped it. So I ripped it again. Like I said, it's been a little while since I've done any kind of crafting. So I think I'm going to put this like here. Kind of like going off the page. Let me glue this folder down real quick. I'm going to stick this to my, I'm going to stick it over here to my lamp. And then I'm going to glue this down. And I like to just use double-sided tape. Put a couple runs on there. This is permanent. I get it at Hobby Lobby. It's kind of like Tombow, but it's a cheaper. I find that it's cheaper. And I go through a lot of it, so I don't mind it being a little bit cheaper. And then, that's crooked. Can I handle it being crooked? I think I can. It'll be okay. It's probably going to drive me crazy, but you know what? I'm not looking for perfection on this project. I just am looking for, it doesn't have to be about it being perfect. So I'm going to take this little card out of here. I'm going to cut this down here real quick. I just want to make sure that I'm cutting it straight. These little, if you guys have the opportunity to get one of these little 6-inch, I have a little guillotine one too, get one of these little 6-inch papers. They are fantastic for cutting scraps, your 6x6 papers, all of that. I'm going to try to pull this up. Oh, it's going to come up because of that. That's awesome. Because of that, Tim Holtz ink I put down, it came up. Normally it's very permanent. Okay, oops. Okay. And I'm going to put that back in here so that I can kind of see it. I'm going to kind of offset it over here. I'm going to grab this bunch of flowers. And they're going to kind of hang off the page. And it's going to help kind of adhere this little envelope thing down too. And then I'll lift this page up. And then I'm going to grab my scissors. And I'm just going to cut this. And then I'm going to take that same distress ink. And I'm going to go, well, I'm going to decide. I think I'm going to put a couple more flowers or something on here. So let's find if I'm going to put maybe, oh, there goes the dogs. I might have to shut off the store. The mailman might be coming. Heaven forbid that someone come to my house that they don't give permission to without them going crazy. That's enough. I think it's my dog too. It's always my dog. Okay. Take that off. Take those chunks off. Okay, and now I'm going to pull this out, and I'm going to just very carefully, because I don't want the white, I don't want the so the paper on the sticker was white, and I don't want it to be like white, and then everything else on here. Let me get a little bit more of this. And then everything else on here to be, you know, kind of distressed, because I think that would look super weird. So I'm going to kind of lift this corner up, and I'm going to kind of distress this piece of this. Yeah. I don't know if that's the desired look I was going for, but it'll work. I mean, let's just kind of color. Yeah, there we go. I mean, it's going to work, so. And then let's put a flower on here to kind of tie this in with the rest of it, with that page in the event that it falls out or whatever. Let's just go ahead and color that while it's on this page. I love these these oxide inks, the distress ones. I got all of them. He got me the whole set for either my birthday or Christmas. Like I said, my birthday and Christmas are 5 days apart, so I know they were for one, or I think it was for my birthday. And then that's just gonna slide right down in there. And now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go flip to, in my Bible, put my Bible over here. Sorry, my dog's going crazy. And I know if I go try to stop her, she's not going to stop, so we'll just ignore her. And hopefully she just quits. Let me find Galatians. It's right here. Flip back here, and this is chapter 6. Chapter 6, verse 9 and 10. So again, like I said, I'm going to get my gray. This is the Mr. Pin one. I'm going to kind of sharpen this to a tip. And it's chapter 6, verse 9 and 10. So there's 8. And then here's 9. So then the way that it reads in the book, in my study book, the She Reads Truth, I don't remember what what version of the Bible this is. The She Reads Truth Bible. I don't remember, but this Bible that I have, because you can get a She Reads Truth Bible, which I've thought about doing, so that the verbiage is the same. This is a New Living Translation Bible, and I'm not sure what version that one is, but so in the workbook, the verses read, "Let us not get tired of doing good, for we will reap at the proper time if we don't give up. Therefore, as we have opportunity, let us work for the good of all, especially for those who belong to the household." And then in my Bible, it says, so let's not get tired of doing what is good. At just the right time, we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't give up. Therefore, whenever we have the opportunity, we should do good to everyone, especially to those in the family of faith. So, there's a little bit of a difference in the verbiage of the verses, but the meaning is still the same. So, what I do to get this to stay in, you could do it a couple of ways. You could washi tape it and just run washi tape here, and then just stick it in there like that. I like to take my good old classic, this is a big fat one, but just a classic glue stick. You can see it's got some gouges and stuff in it. I don't know if you can see that, but, and I just run it along the edge of my paper, and I like to get the purple stuff. You know, it goes on purple and then dries clear, because then I know how much glue I have on my paper, and then I just very quickly stick it down in there all the way to the fold, and it does get a little, you can kind of see where the glue's at. Let me lift it up and show you. You can kind of see where the glue is in there. Can you see the purple? But it'll dry clear, so it's not a big deal. And that's how I glued these other ones, the ones I was showing you earlier. Like, I could lift my whole Bible up, and it's in there. So, they're in there. And this one has 2 in it, but I did them at separate times. So I stuck one of them in and then glued one in. And this one, since this is chapter 1, verse 8, it goes before chapter 1, verse 16 and 17. So that's why. And then if there was one in between, I would just glue it in between here. So, and then this one. Now, not every, I don't know, because I've just started doing this. I don't know if every page inside my Bible is going to have a verse highlighted or whatever, but it's going to be interesting at the end of it to see how it goes. So anyways, that's how I'm doing my Bible study. And then I like to close my Bible and kind of let it dry. The Bible this Bible itself is pretty heavy. If it were at the front of it, then I would probably shut it and flip it over or put a different page on top of it. Now, one other thing that I have been doing, one thing that I was trying to figure out whenever I first started Bible studying, as I'm talking to you, I'm just going to kind of pick up some of this mess and put it away from doing that page. But one of the things that I was trying to figure out was how to use a concordance and like a dictionary, a Bible dictionary. So everyone said, oh, you need a concordance, you need a concordance, you need a dictionary, you need a this, you need a that. So I bought all the things. Way more than I needed, way more than I use, way more than I probably will ever use. But I bought all the things. So, but through trial and error, I have found that, give me 1 second. Okay, so through trial and error, I have found that this book here, this is a Concise Concordance and Vine's Dictionary of the Bible. And then I also have this commentary, Bible commentary. And I use these together. And I use these 2 books a lot. I have several different versions of commentary. This is the only Bible dictionary that I have. So if you remember, when we were reading, let's go back to that page and see. My dogs are going to start barking again. So right here, hold on, let me shut my door. Piddly, that's enough. Okay, so we're still going to hear the dogs. My son's about to come home, so we're still going to hear the dogs, but it won't be as loud, and they're going to go crazy just because my kid's coming home. But anyways, so it was talking here in Leviticus, when you reap the harvest of your land, you are not to reap the very edge of your field or gather the gleanings of your harvest. At first, when I read that, I was like, gleanings? We don't say that word now. So what does that word mean? Like, by process of elimination, my brain, you do not gather the gleanings of your harvest. Do not strip your vineyard bare or gather its fallen grapes. Leave them for the poor and the resident alien. I am the Lord your God. So God is saying, don't don't take everything in your field. Leave some for those less fortunate. Okay, fine. But I want to make sure that I understand what that word means. So, a lot of times what I'll do is I grab one of my little retractable highlighters here, and I'm going to highlight that word, and then I'm going to go into my Bible dictionary, and I'm going to go back here to the dictionary. The first part is the concordance, and then the second part is the dictionary. So I'm going to go to the G's, E, F, G. And I'm going to see if gleaning is in here, and it is not. It's not in here. So, let's look in my commentary and see what it says. So it's saying Leviticus. I believe that's this way. I don't have the whole Bible memorized and which way it goes yet, so bear with me. Okay, Leviticus, I want 19:9. So 19:4 and then 19:13 through 18. So it skipped right past 9 through 10. Let's see. Do not turn idols or make cast images of God. The worship of gods and goddesses utilizes anthropomorphic and zoomorphic images was normative of all nations throughout the ancient. Yeah. Chapter 19, verse 9. This is 19. So it doesn't have it on there. It doesn't have anything on there. But by process of elimination, we can kind of see that it's stating. Let me look in a different commentary and see if I can find. I don't know that it's going to be necessary, but let's just look. I got a couple more. And the thing about commentaries is you can get commentaries like this is a one volume commentary, so is this other one. Actually, these are all three of these ones are that I've pulled out. This one's the Moody one, and then I also have the NIV Matthew Henry commentary. You can get a commentary just for each book of the Bible. So let's look in Leviticus. Exodus. Leviticus. What was it? Chapter 19, verse 9 and 10. Okay, 18, 9 through 8. Leviticus chapter 19, 9 through 10. Okay. Believers exhibit godlike social behavior when they provide for the needs of those less fortunate than themselves, which is 9 and 10. The extent of person's generosity could be seen in the amount of grain he left in his fields for gleaning for the needy and the stranger. Similarly, one's priorities today can be seen in the entries in one's checkbook. It's kind of the same thing like I was saying. So these commentaries just kind of break it down and tell you what were they thinking back then. Like, what was it? Let's look at this one real quick, just because I already have it out. Like, we already know what it's trying to tell us, but let's look and see. Okay. That's 5 through 8, 11. Okay, 4, 5, 8, and then it skips to 11. So this one doesn't even have... oh wait, I need chapter 19. Verses chapter 19, 1 through 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Yeah, so... that one skips right past over it. So, a commentary is great. a Bible dictionary is great. A concordance is great because, like, if you look at concordance, I don't know if you guys know how to use a concordance. I did not know until I started this journey of trying to learn. But let's look. So let's look at the word gleaning. Let's see if we can find it. This isn't going to give us a definition, but what this is going to do is it's going to tell us all of, if we can find the word. Let's see if we can find the word first. Gleaned, gleaning. Okay. Thou gather any of thy harvest. Leviticus 23, chapter 23, verse 12. So this is going to tell us the places in the Bible where this word is used so that we can go and we can cross-reference what those verses mean and what in the context in which that word is used. So this gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different places in the Bible where the word gleaning is used. And then there's glean, gleaned, gleaning, gleanings. You know, so there's just different, like past tense, there's different tenses of it, like current tense, past tense, you know, future, whatever, okay? So, gleaning, it's going to tell us, and then it gives you a little short, so it's not the gleaning of the grapes, let's see, they not leave some gleaning grapes. So that's Jeremiah 49:9. So let's just look at that in our Bible. Jeremiah 49:9. Jeremiah chapter 49. We got a ways to go. 49, chapter 9. And it says, those who harvest grapes always leave a few for the poor. If thieves came at night, they would not take everything. So it just kind of gives you another example of where you can find the context in which they're trying to use that word. So that's kind of helpful. I got these concordances and commentaries off of Thrift Books. It's like a used online bookstore. It's the app, and they were great prices. I think each one of them were less than $5. And so I just bought several of them. They're in fantastic shape. Like this one, you cannot even tell that, like, it's brand new. This one I might have bought off Amazon, but I'm pretty sure I got it off Thrift Books. Ooh, thunderstorm. So they're great. They're absolutely great resources. I'll do a little more in-depth on how to use them, how I use them. I could be using them wrong for all I know. I don't know. Because there wasn't a lot of information on how to use them. It just said use them. And so I kind of was like, I want to do things a little bit different. And I want to explain how to use it, how I'm using it, how I think you're supposed to use it. I mean, I don't know. I'm no professional. I've not been to, you know, monastery school, or I don't have a theology degree, or, I mean, I don't even know what it's called. So I just am a girl trying to learn about Jesus and get closer to God. So, and I'm going to take you guys with me. So if you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more of my videos, hit that subscribe button. If you want to be able to pick and choose what videos of mine that you see, you can hit that notification bell, and then it'll let you choose which ones you see, how often you see them, you know, whatever. And hopefully we'll see you guys at the next one. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. If you have anything specific that you want to see, go ahead and leave that in the comments, and I will answer them and try to get to them and answer your questions and cover the topics that you guys want to see to the best of my ability. If it's not something that I know about, then I will see about finding out, and we'll just kind of do it together. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for coming along with me, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.